There's nothing like losing your keys. Because I remember, I'm like, oh, I have keys up here. Because I accidentally brought the keys for my Cutlass with me. And this was in my pocket. This is something for the Celebrity. It's a seal for the wiper motor. So I'm going to take this out of my pocket and take the keys in my pocket. But I had a bunch of stuff in my pockets. I was filling them up. And then what happens is now I have all this stuff on different switches here. So I came back in because I shut the lights off and I have a separate switch turning on these two lights here. It's cool, I set up all these now. All these charges, although this one here, oh, now it's working, okay. Because it like decides to work and then doesn't work. Anywho, so I got the tailstock in, so anyway, so to make a long story short, because yesterday I worked on somebody's car, I just called them, asked them to look under their hood. I installed this guy to the to this moving table, and I installed this big sucker here on this table, with bigger hardware even. And so what else did I do? Yeah, I worked on somebody's car. I really didn't do that much cleaning up because I was working on cars. So I had these keys, and I know I put them in my pocket, but just as I was shutting off the light, I'm like, oh shit, I left the light on. So then I come out, come back into the garage, I shut the light off, and then I close the light again. When I closed the light again, I realized the light up there was on. So to shut off the light, I got the light on the ceiling there. That came with this. I may have not done it there. But I go like this, I hit the switch off, and I just had a revelation because I went looking everywhere for these keys. And when I came down off the ladder, something fell out of my pocket. And I guess I picked it up, but I still couldn't hold it. Like I said, I had a lot of stuff in my pocket that I was bringing back to the car. And I just had a revelation. I'm like, oh, I dropped it. That's what happened. I dropped. So now I just moved this welder out. I'm moving the tire machine. I actually opened the tire machine to look inside because the slight chance, because it literally, I swear I felt something go bing, bing. But then I picked up something off the floor. I'm like, gee, I picked up something off the floor, but it felt like there was another thing that fell. It seemed too big. So whatever I picked up, I put down somewhere else and I continued to look. Then I just gave up and then I left. So come today, they want the Cutlass that I did the springs on the other day, and I'm like, I go right over here and I go, wait a minute. That's right, I swapped that in my pocket. It's got to be at home. I got to have it in my laundry or something like that. I go home, it's not there. And I'm like, what's going on now? So I come all the way back here. I tear all this apart. Like I said, I look in the machine. I climb on the ladder, look underneath all this stuff, on the ledges of that, in between the nooks and crannies over there. And I'm like, oh my God, what the hell am I going to do? And then I go like this, and I'm just looking at the ladder. Son of a bitch. It was right. I took it out. I readjusted my pockets to put it down, and then fixed my pockets, but I double checked on the floor to make sure there wasn't something else, because it seemed more than just the keys that fell. It had to be the keys that fell, but because these keys have two keychains and it kind of like, like very sloppily fell and boom, 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 boom. I'm like, I sound like more than one thing falling. And I wasn't sure everything I put in my pockets, but I was full. And I picked up what I did see fall, which was obviously the keys that I didn't remember, obviously, and I put them here, and then I continued to look, and then I forgot to put these back in my pocket. So that's how I made more work for myself just now, because I'm starving, I haven't eaten, I got to wake up at like 4 in the morning, and now I'm going to go. All the lights are off, and this is how we officially close Mike the Mechanic Garage. Everything's out. All right, thanks for watching.